with the bass, the jam, the block, and the best, and I don't waste time. On the mic with the dope rhyme, jump to the rhythm, jump, jump to the rhythm, jump, and I'm here to.
It's that season again. The New Year season. You know, 2014 saw a lot of bugged out stuff. And it was the year of the booty. Also a year of protests. And pretty emotional year. So, what does 2015, what will it bring for you? And even better still, what's your resolution for 2015? Do you have one? What is it?
Happy New Year to you and yours. Happy 2015. I hope you be prosperous and you make a difference in 2015 and it gets bigger and better for you. My New Year's resolution is I want us to continue to love one another, but even more, pay it forward, lead by example, and make a mark for 2015 and make a better choice, better positivity for our youth, and not only our youth, but our world.
And state your name for the peoples.
It's DJ Kool Keith.
Alright, Happy New Year 2015. Haven't really thought much about New Year's resolutions, but I suppose maybe I should probably try to cut down on masturbating so much. I mean, I'd probably be a lot more productive if I could get down to maybe 2 or 3 times a day. That might help. I could have a more prosperous New Year, I think, if I spent more time on other things.
That's very good. Thank you.
One of the really odd things about the calendar. If you go back to ancient Rome, January was the first month. It honored the god Janus. He was the god of beginnings and endings. It's the two-faced god because he's looking forward and backward.
Two-Face?
Yeah.
The Two-Face, I know people like that.
Yeah, but
it is SM Enlightenment, baby. And you know, positivity is everything. There's no debating. You can't stress me out about anything. You know, your attitude, your disposition is every single thing, baby. It is everything. It affects how you look. It affects how you react. It actually affects the way that your whole day goes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, for instance, you know, when you're out in the world, okay, and the actual way that you perceive things, okay, can determine the outcome of everything. It can determine whether or not you get the job or not. It can determine whether or not you make it to work on time. It can depend whether or not you live or die sometimes, you know. Your attitude, baby, is everything. Okay, so listen. If your attitude is bad, okay, all that you are is inviting and breeding more negativity to come at you more and more. But you see, when it's positive, and when you're projecting positivity, baby, guess what? You bring on more positivity.
How you doing? This is Jay Lane from 94.3 WYBC. Happy New Year 2015.
So what's your New Year's resolution for this year, brother?
Make money and keeping the peace.
Nice. You got another message for everybody out there?
Be safe and watch yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the magnificent Don J. Don J, what you got to say? Okay, so we wishing everybody a happy new year. Don J, what is your New Year's resolution?
To pick up every can I see.
To pick up every can?
Yep. That's a nickel that you're walking by. So I'm gonna pick up every penny I see on the ground, and I'm gonna pick up every can and bottle, and I'm gonna be about my money. Get all that free money I keep throwing away. Recycle.
Okay.
Earth.
Sanjay, Happy New Year.
It is New Year's Eve, and my resolution for 2015 is to be fearless and to never ever forget that the material world is just an illusion. Happy New Year.
But anyway, Janus was or Janus, some people would say, was the god of the beginnings. So he was the god of the new year. But back then there were only 10 months in the year, which is why December is called December, because it was the last month of the year, but it was the 10th month.
So where did two other months come from?
One is named July after Julius Caesar, and one is named August after his adopted son, Augustus Caesar, who had been Octavian. And they were both, Augustus was emperor, Caesar was dictator in Rome, and then so a lot of people think he was the emperor. He wasn't really the emperor. But in any case, they got those months added to the calendar, and they stuck them both in the middle of the summer, and that pushed the other months out of sequence. So January got pushed back to the winter time when it used to be at the beginning of the springtime. And
so then before that so you mean to tell me then that there was actually 10 month years?
In the Roman calendar, yeah. The months had more days in them. Now the lunar calendars tend to have 12 or 13 months. And they get all out of sync, like the Jewish calendar and the Muslim calendar. You notice how Passover wanders all over and Easter too, because it's based on
Easter,
Passover.
yeah, right.
It wanders all over the calendar. It stays within spring, but it wanders. And the Muslim holidays, if you are counting them by the Roman calendar, sometimes the Eid festival is really early, and sometimes it's really late. It's because they don't use the same calendar notation that the Romans used. And there's the Chinese calendar is a little different that way because it's a lunar calendar. Trouble with lunar calendars, you know how we put the leap year leap year day in every 4 years? They have to put in leap months to keep things straight. It's just all over the place. But the whole point of the old style versus new style New Year is that the old style New Year was at the beginning of the season of spring, and the new style New Year kept that, and so the new year actually was in March, I think. And it wasn't until years later that they moved the New Year's to January 1st.
Okay, so we're here with Brother Adam from Pacific Standard Tavern. So, as you know, it's a new year coming in. You have a New Year's resolution? What is it? And make it a good one.
Man, no one's asked me that yet. I don't have one, but maybe to spend less hours down here at the PST so I can spend some more time with the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe you'd have something better than that.
Well, I'll work on it. I'll email something in.
Okay. All right. Well, wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. 2015.
So being now it's the New Year, where did the tradition ever come into that people get drunk?
Well, the one that I'm most familiar with is from Scotland, and they call their New Year's Eve celebration Hogmanay. I'd have to look that up to see what it actually means. And the tradition was that you went visiting from house to house, and
and you raided their liquor cabinet?
Well, the head of the house would have to show hospitality to the visitors, and that would mean giving them a drink. Now, sometimes some people would bring a drink with them as a present, as they're visiting. And they have a great tradition where if you're the first person over the doorstep at a particular house for that new year, then you will have good luck. They call that first footing. And so think about Scotland and whiskey, and if you take a dram every house you go to, and you go to a dozen, 15, 20 houses where all your friends are, how many shots of whiskey are you going to will you have had by the end of the evening? So I'm trying to think if there's some other now the other side of that is you go back to ancient Rome, and the holiday that occurs approximately the same time as Christmas or Hanukkah. It was called Saturnalia. Now, you know, all the planets are named after Roman gods, and Saturn was one of them. And the Saturnalia took place in the wintertime around the winter solstice. And that was a big party because you were celebrating King Saturn at that time, and you were supposed to have a lot of fun and eat a lot of good things and drink a lot of good things. And, I think they made sacrifices to the gods on the altar.
Sacrifices?
Well, you know, like not human sacrifices. But,
no, not like your firstborn virgin?
No, but you know, take a bull or a calf or something like that and slaughter it. That kind of sacrifice.
The animal rights people will never have that.
No, they wouldn't. But, you know, you got that in the Bible. You go back to Jacob and Esau, right? You got the one who put the first fruits from the harvest on the altar, and the other one who brought the something from the flocks, because the one was the farmer and the other one was the shepherd, right?
Yeah.
And, so that sort of thing.
So, what is my New Year's resolution for this year? My New Year's resolution is, I think, to entertain you all. That's my New Year's resolution. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to it too.